Hi, and welcome to my final project for Introduction to Digital Forensics. This is the homicide case in the cloud environment, which title makes me laugh because it makes me think of some cozy mystery book, but I thought it was an appropriate title. My name is Dawn Poole, and I am a senior at Bay Path University. So here's the background story. My forensics lab has been hired to work on a homicide case for the local police department. They want us to gather information from a suspect's personal computer, Android phone, and online cloud storage accounts. We are looking for information that will help the police make a case against the suspect. I will discuss the approach and best techniques used to find evidence in the cloud environment. I will show how my lab assisted, and I will explain how this case is different from a hard drive case. So here is an example of how this will all work out, starting with police department. The police department has a homicide case, and they need to hire us to help them, because we are a digital forensics lab, go through the equipment they need analyzed. So our lab needs to examine and analyze a personal computer, an Android phone, and online cloud storage accounts. The lab needs to gain a warrant to examine all equipment and the cloud. From there, the lab will do the investigation and write up a report, and then we will give that report and any evidence to the police department for their case. And this pretty much sums up how any case will work. It'll be the same cycle. Okay, the case. Once a warrant is signed and we have the suspect's computer and phone, we need to go back to the lab and start the investigation. The way I think this should play out is one person in the lab should work strictly on the computer, one should work on the phone, and one should work on getting data from the cloud. All steps must be followed properly and documented. Let's prepare for the case. In order to do this, we have a list of priorities we have to make sure get taken care of. First one is make initial assessment. From there, we'll determine the approach that we're going to use to do this investigation. We'll do this by creating a detailed checklist, determine the resources that we need. Then from there, we'll obtain and copy the evidence drive, identify risks, minimize the risks, test the design, analyze and recover digital evidence, investigate the data, and then complete the case report and critique case. And then once all these are done, then it could go back to the police department. Most of this case will be obtaining data from the cloud. This is much different from a hard drive case. With a hard drive, there is a limit to the space that's available. This makes looking for data easier. A cloud can be various sizes depending on what the user paid for, and there can be more than one cloud used. They could have various accounts. And within those accounts, the problem could be that these different cloud accounts are different companies. So also with a hard drive, you were dealing with one computer's information. In the cloud, you could be dealing with multiple devices also. Traditional digital forensics emphasizes an investigator gaining access to data stored on a computer, such as in a hard drive, where records show what happened through the computer, web surfing, email writing. Yet our digital lives are becoming centered less in our computers and more in the cloud, where we mingle by ways of numerous, increasingly mobile, disposable, interchangeable devices. An investigator may never get access to the relevant user or service provider devices, even though he can witness a live online event by connecting it through his own computer. So for the computer, we're going to check for data on the hard drive and then check for data in the cloud that the computer was using. Then with the phone, we're going to check the data on the phone and also check data in the cloud that the phone was using. We have to check with the provider for data. We'll need a separate warrant, and we'll have to check for security and privacy issues. For the cloud, we need to check if the suspect only used one cloud account, and then we'll check for data in the clouds. And like the phone, we will need a warrant for the provider. In this case, we already have it. Doing a cloud investigation. Before you investigate, make sure you review the cloud service agreements for restrictions and the cloud's policies and contract obligations. Examine the computer and the phone and look for apps like OneDrive, Google Drive, and Dropbox. These are cloud storage accounts. Procedures for acquiring cloud evidence include examining network and firewall logs, performing disk acquisitions of a cloud system's OS, and examining data storage devices. Data in clouds can be encrypted in two states, at rest and in motion. Then from there, check pre-fetch files for metadata, like last date and time the cloud app was run and how often it has been run since the app was installed. And here's my references, and there you go. That's how I would take care of this case. And I'd like to thank you for this class and hope you enjoyed this PowerPoint. Thank you very much.